We've got something exciting for you today. We're going to launch our first agent. We're starting today with Operator. Operator is a system that can use a web browser, in this case a web browser in the cloud, to accomplish tasks that you give it. This is going to go live today in the United States for pro users, and it'll be other countries soon. Europe will unfortunately take a while, and we'll also in the coming months make it available to Plus users.
So this is the Operator homepage. It lives at operator.chatgpt.com. And as you can see, the interface is very similar to ChatGPT. You can type in a prompt, and an Operator will try to execute the task to the best of its capability. So I'm going to start with something fairly simple. I'm going to use OpenTable and say, book me a table for 2 at Beretta tonight at 7 p.m. I'm using OpenTable in this case, but I could have easily said, just do Beretta, and it would have probably gone to search engine, figured out how to make a reservation as well, but let's see what it does.
So can you explain what's happening in this?
Yeah, right. So I'm going to expand this a little bit. So as soon as I typed in the query, Operator instantiated a completely remote browser. This browser is running in the cloud somewhere, and as you can see, it's already up and running. And my hands are off the keyboard. I'm not typing these things.
So this is just the AI's clicking around.
AI is just clicking around. It started this browser session. It knew where OpenTable website is, which is opentable.com. As you can see, it's summarized chain of thought here as well, which is it's gone to the URL, searched for Beretta, and something cool really happened, which is for some reason, OpenTable thought we were in Virginia, and it auto-corrected itself to San Francisco. This is using, so like ChatGPT, in Operator, you can also give custom instructions. So I'm going to show this really quickly here. OK. So I've given a custom instruction that for queries that need it, I live in San Francisco. So Operator recognized that and then auto-corrected itself to go to Beretta. OK, looks like 7 p.m. isn't available, but you know what? 7:45 is just fine. So we're going to go do that. So in this case, Operator came back, and this is a really good example of task delegation where Operator needs help or needs assistance or just wants to ask you something. I have a shopping list here, which is this one. Let's see what it is. Eggs, spinach, mushrooms, chicken thighs, chili crunch.
So this is a picture that you're uploading here.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to use Instacart, which is, again, what we use generally. Can you buy this for me, please? And I'll also specify the store I like, which is, well, let's see if he figures out I mistyped it, but let's see. OK, so in this case, again, Operator quickly actually recognized using GPT-4o's vision capabilities to understand that the image said egg, spinach, mushroom, chicken thighs, and it actually knew Gus's Market. And I'm like, yes, that sounds great. Cool. Again, just like OpenTable, it instantiated a browser, and it's going to go ahead and start doing tests. I'm going to expand the view, and let's see what it does.
What you want it to use, if you just say, buy me these groceries and don't specify Instacart, what happens?
It will do a search, use a search engine, much like we do, and it'll find, Instacart or Gus's Directly website or whatever else is on the search engine, go through that, ask you questions if it needs clarifications, and go from there. So when you take over, it's very much just like a session with your local browser. It's completely private. OK, so we are going to use StubHub. Give us a few options. OK, so we have a lot of apps in various different categories, as was shown on the homepage. So it's StubHub, Target, Etsy, and all the verticals. But also, Operator is not really restricted to these apps. You can use pretty much Operator with any website. Oops. Oh, what happened?
Oh, StubHub is blocked.
Let's see. Let's try to fix it. So this is a good example of, sometimes things happen in live demos. We have put a protection in place where we only allow Operator to visit HTTPS sites. And somehow, I think a redirect must be happening where went up. OK. All set. Keep going. OK, cool. So again, as we have talked about, it's a remote browser, so it can do a lot of things. One of the advantages of doing that is you can do a lot of tasks in parallel, as Sam you were talking about earlier. So let's try to do a few more tasks. Australian Open is going on, and I said St. Mary because I live in Bernal Heights. That's pretty close by. And while that's going, let's also...
And that time you didn't.
You did not specify.
I did not specify a website. I can actually quickly go back and see. In this case, it's doing very much what we would do, which is like, go to a search engine and then
just use the internet.
Exactly. Yeah. And OK, well, we have some selection to make.
Wow, all of the seats are amazing.
I know. Why do I believe 374 is better than 262?
That's an interesting thing.
But it's lower rated.
Okay, which one should we add? Row
I think
6?
row 1. Row 1 is
Row
good.
1?
Let's
Okay,
do that
let's
one.
do that. Let's do section 214. Row 1.
So for example, what if the user is misaligned? So maybe they're asking for a harmful task, like buy a weapon or something like that. In that case, fortunately, we've done a lot of work with ChatGPT to bring over a lot of the same mitigations. So for example, we refuse harmful tasks, including harmful agentic tasks. We have moderation models, we have post hoc detection, we have blocked websites.
Operator just asks, as you just described, with confirmations and making sure the control is on the right place, and we can take control. And at this point, as we talked about earlier, the session is completely private as well. And one last thing. We're launching this today. We're going to start slowly rolling it out right now. By the end of the day, everyone on Pro in the US will have access. But also, we're working on the API. This model will be available in the API, and we'll be launching in a few weeks.